Alright, I guess today I get to talk about the newest episode of Falcon and Winter Soldier on the day of its release. Yes, the 5th episode of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier has dropped. Man, we're almost done. It's been a fun, exciting journey. So now I'm gonna talk about this 5th episode with spoilers. If you have not watched this episode titled Truth, then probably best to steer clear of this video unless you don't care. Alright, let's go. And yeah, this episode was pretty much the R&R episode. It was the calm before the storm. Because there's not a lot of action in this one. For as long as it is, it's the longest one yet, at 1 hour long. It's a lot of talking and sitting and discussing. Although I wasn't as bored by this episode as I was by the first one, I'll be honest. Besides, this episode does start out with a pretty sweet fight scene. The only action scene we get in this episode is at the very beginning, and it's Sam and Bucky fighting John Walker to get that shield back finally. And they don't just beat John Walker, they beat the shit out of him. That's pretty much how they had to do it. Because John Walker has the super soldier serum now, they can't just uppercut him and knock him out. No, they have to beat the fuck out of him. And sure enough, that's what they do. John Walker, man, I mean, at this point, he's just a wild card. He's insane. He's now declined to the point where he just doesn't give a shit about anything because of his grisly murder in the last episode. He is stripped of his Captain America title by the US government. He's given a dishonorable discharge. They're like, yeah, you're gonna retire and you're gonna get no benefits. You will hold no rank. You're like, geez, this guy is hitting rock bottom. You would feel bad for him if he wasn't such a tool. And I mean, he doesn't even try to apologize. He like owns up to it. He's like, yeah, I killed that guy because he killed my best friend, which in reality, he didn't. The guy John Walker killed is not the guy who killed Lamar. That was Carly. But even after he's reprimanded, he's like, I am Captain America. If I'm jumping to the mid-credit scene, he's so desperate to get that title back that he even makes his own shield. Yeah, he's making his own shield now, which I just find so pathetic. I'm like, poor guy. I almost pity you. I feel like with this, he's going to be called US Agent now. That's where he's going to get that title from. He's going to be like the grade B Captain America. I don't know. That's just a guess. But okay, Sam finally gets that shield again. And during that big fight in the beginning, John Walker ripped off the wings of his Falcon suit. And so Sam is talking with Torres, who we haven't seen in a while. And when Sam leaves, Torres is like, hey, you forgot the wings. And Sam is like, keep them. After a couple seconds went by after that, I was like, okay. Maybe this could lead to Torres becoming the Falcon that he is in the comics. I think that would be cool, because that would be cool for this actor, Danny Ramirez, because I've never heard of him. Was he like a known actor before this? Was he in anything else? I don't know. But that would be cool to see him step up and become the new Falcon after Sam Wilson becomes the new Captain America. That'd be awesome. I'd love to see that. Maybe in a Falcon and Winter Soldier season 2 or something. Jumping back to John Walker's situation, because there is one more thing to mention with him in this episode, and that is the fact that he's approached by, surprise, Julia Louis-Dreyfus shows up. When she showed up, I was like, I know that face. Why does she look so familiar? And so I had to look up her name. I knew the actress. I knew Julia Louis-Dreyfus, but I'd just forgotten what I'd seen her in. So I looked it up and I was like, oh yeah, she's Elaine in Seinfeld. Elaine. I'll be honest, I haven't watched a lot of Seinfeld. That's why I didn't recognize her. But yeah, what the hell is Julia Louis-Dreyfus doing in Falcon and Winter Soldier? She's playing what? Costella Valentina Allegra de Fontaine. Another character I've never heard of. Is that a character from the comics? I imagine it is. I did read that Julia Louis-Dreyfus as this character was originally supposed to show up in the Black Widow movie. Like we were supposed to see her in that movie first before seeing her in this show. But you know, due to the pandemic, the show ended up coming out first. So when we see her in the Black Widow movie, which I guess is a spoiler that's unintentional, it'll feel like ass backwards. Like we'll just have to pretend that we've never seen Falcon and Winter Soldier yet when we go to see Black Widow. I don't know, I guess we'll see how that plays out. But she approaches John Walker and she's like, I represent this organization that has an interest in your unique abilities. Here's my card. Which, I mean, the card had nothing on it, so I imagine it's like the Mirage card from The Incredibles, or maybe like you shine a black light on it and it shows a symbol. I don't know. But I'm thinking maybe she works for the Power Broker, or maybe it's a Black Widow thing. I have no idea. I guess we'll see where that goes in the future. Maybe in the last episode of Falcon and Winter Soldier, or maybe later on. Then we get to the Zemo scene. And yeah, like I predicted, Zemo is in fact at that Sokovia Memorial, and Bucky approaches him, and he's pretty much like, alright Zemo, we're done here. Our interaction, this is over. And so Zemo is taken by the Dora Milaje, and they're gonna take him to the Raft, which is a prison we saw in Captain America Civil War. So according to Io, Zemo is going to live out the rest of his days there, just out in this prison in the middle of the ocean. Alright Zemo, until we meet again. Until we need you again. Cool. I will say Zemo was one of the strongest points of this show for me. Zemo was just so entertaining to watch. Not just because of the dancing, but because of his character. His lines are some of the most memorable in this entire series. I'll miss him. I really will. And I do hope he shows up again at some point. Because Daniel Bruhl is just, he's a great actor and I love seeing him as Zemo. I don't know, give him his own Disney Plus series. I really liked him. So Sam finally goes home to Louisiana. And at first I was like, aw man, is this show gonna slow down again and bore me like the first episode did? But at this point, we've had 4 episodes episodes of character development, so no, it didn't bore me as much. Sam is back with his sister, they're gonna work on the boat, and Bucky comes by to help out. That was really cool of him. He flirts with Sam's sister. Me and my friend, while we were watching it, we were like, is there a spark there? I've been saying for a while that Bucky deserves some romance. If it's with Sam's sister, I don't know how Sam will take it, but good for Bucky. And Bucky also gives Sam this briefcase. He's like, oh yeah, by the way, I called in another favor from the Wakandans. I imagine whatever's in this briefcase, because we don't get to see it in this episode. What a tease. But I imagine it's a new suit with wings. I imagine it's the Falcon Captain America suit. And I imagine it's gonna look so awesome. There is like one shot in the very end, right before the credits, where Sam opens the briefcase and you see just a little bit. You have to like frame by frame it to really see. And so I'm like, oh, god damn it. 2014 Godzilla, don't tease me. Come on, just show me. We'll see it in a week. We just have to be patient. But okay, can we talk about Sharon Carter in her one scene in this episode? I mean, really, she is not as prominent in this show as I thought she was gonna be. She was really only a main player in like one episode, unless she shows up again in the finale to like kick some ass as a villain now, I guess. Yeah, I guess she's a bad guy now. She's the one who hires Batroc because Batroc shows up again to join the Flag Smashers. I'm like, god damn it, Sharon. I liked you. Why you gotta turn turncoat like that, huh? Is she the power broker? She could be, maybe. That'd be quite the twist, huh? Again, I don't want to put all my eggs in that basket, because we all remember what went down the last time that happened. So for now, I'm just gonna say maybe. And alright, in this episode, we finally get what I've been calling the farm scene, even though the scene does not take place on a farm at all. I don't know why I called it that. But it's Sam and Bucky, they finally have the shield again, they're tossing it around, and they're talking about what Sam becoming the new Captain America could mean. They're really just hashing out each other's problems. It's like they're in therapy without the therapist, which I noticed the first time I was watching this scene. That was cool. And they are the ones who finally convince each other to do what we pretty much thought they were going to do when the show started off. Bucky is finally going to right his wrongs by helping people out. He's probably going to go to that Nakajima guy, and that big confession about how he killed his son, that's probably going to be in the finale. And Sam Wilson is finally going to take up the responsibility of becoming the new Captain America, which we see here. He's training with the shield. That montage with the theme music in the background, that was awesome. When watching this, I was like, yeah, that guy's just ripped. He's good. I love this though. He's finally ready to take it on. Let's see it. I know Isaiah Bradley might disapprove, but I'm totally ready to see Sam Wilson become the new Captain America, the new symbol of patriotism for the nation. So I'm looking forward to seeing in the finale Sam Wilson as the new Captain America in his new Wakandan suit with the wings and the shield. That's gonna be badass. I mean, at this point, it looks like it's making you think that Sam and Bucky have parted ways now. Like, oh, they're going their separate ways. But I'm pretty sure that Bucky's gonna show up again for the big fight in the finale against the Flag Smashers. Which, you see, the Flag Smashers, with Batroc's help now, they're planning this attack on the GRC, the Global Repatriation Council, in New York City. Sam gets word of it from Torres. He's like, don't say another word. I'll take it from here. And so you're like, all right, this is leading up to the big final throwdown in New York City now. Sam Wilson, as the new Captain America, is gonna go take on the Flag Smashers. I imagine Bucky's gonna come help. And so, yeah, there we go. I already talked about the mid-credit scene, so I'm not going to touch on it again here. So yeah, in the end, this episode, it was good. Not as action-packed as previous episodes have been, but that's fine because I thought the emotional moments and the character moments were pretty solid. This being the penultimate episode of Falcon and Winter Soldier with the deep character moments, it is reminding me of the penultimate episode of WandaVision, which also featured the deep character moments. And if I had to choose, I think I felt the deep character moments in the penultimate episode of WandaVision more than this one. I don't know, to me they just hit harder, but that's just my opinion. So the penultimate 5th episode of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, titled Truth. Have you watched it yet? What do you think about it? And what are your theories on what's gonna go down in next week's finale? Whatever you think, go ahead and leave a comment. And don't forget to subscribe.